On this computer. Okay. Welcome. We are starting the Tech Tuesday, May 5th, talking about updates in Osmo. And I'd like to talk to you about all the wonderful things we have here for Osmo and tell you about all the new features that have been added to make it even more engaging and inviting for students and allowing them to be creative and problem solvers. So I'm going to take you to the website and talk to you a little bit about what Osmo is and why we would want to use it. So I'll share my screen with you now. The first thing I'd like to do is show you a little research that's been done, and this was shared from Edutopia, talking about Howard Gardner and what does the research say about multiple intelligences and how we can help our students be more creative and use their minds better. And what he states is, many educators have had the experience of not being able to reach some students until presenting the information in a completely different way or providing new options for student expression. Perhaps it was a student who struggled with writing until the teacher provided the option to create a graphic story, which blossomed into a beautiful and complex narrative. Or maybe it was a student who just couldn't seem to grasp fractions until he created them by separating oranges into slices. Because of these kinds of experiences, the theory of multiple intelligences resonates with many educators. It supports what we all know to be true. A one-size-fits-all approach to education will invariably leave some students behind. However, the theory is also often misunderstood, which can lead to it being used interchangeably with learning styles or applying it in ways that can limit student potential. So while the theory of multiple intelligences is a powerful way to think about learning, it's also important to understand the research that supports it. So he actually has Howard Gardner has 8 intelligences, and the 2 that I'm focused on today are the visual spatial intelligence that allows people to comprehend maps and any other type of graphical information, and the bodily kinesthetic intelligence that entails using one's own body or hands to create products or solve problems. So I just wanted to share that with you before we get started as to why Osmo might be a great tool for you to use in your classroom. So let's go to Osmo. Now, if you're on your computers, go ahead and go to playosmo.com. And I'm actually going to go to the school section, and I'm going to play a short video for you.
I didn't see myself as a first grade teacher when I was studying. The reason I love first grade and why I'm happy to be in it is because it's such a huge year of change for the kids. They really grow up a lot. They read, they write. They see themselves as real students at that age, and I just love that. Education is changing so much, and I was trained 10 years ago. It's so important to give the kids the skills of collaboration and teamwork, and I think this tool really allows them to do that.
Students don't really get excited about finishing a worksheet. Students get excited about creating a video, making a comic, writing a story. When I am able to give them those opportunities and see how much they grow from that, it's very exciting. My first impression of Osmo was it's an amazing educational tool. I hadn't seen anything before that allowed students to interact with an iPad without touching the screen. And the fact that it has physical manipulatives really reaches out to a whole separate set of students. They love the positive feedback they get from the game when they successfully accomplish a puzzle or problem. They like the fact that they see points or that there's different scores.
Kids got very fond of it, so every week they ask for. It's a good compliment.
It's our role to really facilitate their learning, but also I've found the more that they can be a part of that and really frame what they're learning and what they explore and what they research, the more involved they are. Helping them create and explore and research is my job.
I'm passionate of seeing the kids growing with their learning and be able to create something for their life. It's a pleasure to teach.
It was on top. So the video really was promoting the use of collaboration, teamwork. You notice the students were engaged in the learning. It's also a bit about immediate feedback, students getting immediate feedback as to how they're doing. And so those are things to think about as you think about using Osmo in your classroom. And so I'm going to show you some of the tools that are in Osmo. First of all, I just wanted to share with you, I get it right here. The fact that Meet Osmo, it enables iPad to merge the power of physical play with the digital advantages of real-time feedback. And so that's what we want to focus on with our students, is that digital advantage of physical play. And now I'd like to show you each one of these. So I'll start with Word. And Word allows us to do all kinds of wonderful things with our kids, sharing different types of words with picture clues so that they can develop a word. It's always using images and then having the students compete with one another if they like, or compete against the computer to figure out what the word is in the visual image that they're looking at. The students will use it to help them with decoding sounds in words in order to choose the correct word tiles. It also helps them with their vocabulary. And I'm going to show you later on how you can download a whole library of different types of digital images to meet the needs for social studies, science, math, anything you would like to do. You can do that with Word, and you can build your own Word, which is one of the great updates, is building your own Word album so that students can learn from you based on what you're teaching in your classroom. So I want to make sure you know about those great updates, and I will share Word here in a little bit, showing you on the iPad how that works. Any questions about Word?
What age is this appropriate for?
Ages 6 to 12. 6 to 12. But students younger than that can do it. And also, I recommend it even for adults with their children playing these games at home. And math or nights, you can have Osmo night, where you have parents come in and do these activities with the kids in the Osmo night, and they would have a great time doing that. So then the next one I'd like to show you is the code one. If you haven't heard about coding, we're doing a lot of work with coding across the state, computer science fundamentals for grades K through 8. We're doing, we've trained over 400 teachers in the area of computer science fundamentals through code.org. To support that, Osmo also has a coding tool, and it does the same thing. It allows students to use building blocks to give commands. Their building blocks are on the bottom. They're using them with their hands. They're not even touching the computer. And on the screen, they have to see how to get the little character to the strawberries, to eat the strawberries. And he has gotten his prizes of the strawberries. It involves complex thinking or computational thinking, because they have to decide how far to go, when to turn right, when to turn left, when to cause repeat or loop actions to take place. And all the tools are provided right within code, so you have the looping, etc. And I can show those tools to you in real life here in a little bit. The next one definitely promotes logical reasoning, huge piece of that. Then we go on to numbers, and this promotes number sense. It fosters the counting, relating values, addition, concatenation, multiplication, and using the physical tiles of dots or digits. You can use the dice dots, or you can use the digits in order to do it. And it's promoting fluency because they're trying to keep the fish alive in their pond and get more fish in their pond. But if the items drop down into the pond, the fish die, and then they can't win. So they have to learn how to add, multiply, in order to keep their fish alive and keep more fish in their pond as they're playing with the game. So the students are using their ability to look at the numbers at the top, build their numbers at the bottom, and they can also compete with this one as well. The next one is also a math activity. This is one of their newest ones out, Pizza Company. Kim, have you heard of Pizza Company?
I did. We actually did it at Stanley County.
Cool.
That was probably one of their favorite ones to do.
Yeah, it is really good because the students get to be entrepreneurs and they bake pizzas, and then they have to fill customers' orders or customers' requests. Then they have to calculate the change and invest their profits to upgrade their shop. So they're baking, there's exchanging money, they're creating exactly what the customer orders, and then they work with profits. So they're working with values of fractions and numbers, money. So it's really good. It leverages facial expressions also for feedback because it's nonverbal feedback in this case, and they only get the happy faces and the sad faces, unhappy customers if they don't get the right money back, and then they have to go back and correct the change, etc. So it's really a great one. And the mat just flips over. One is for making the pizza. The other side is for doing the change. And she's flipping it over now. Time to count the money and give the money back. And that's how they do it. Great activity for kids for math. The next one is tangrams. One of my favorites for tangrams. Visual spatial sense is really hard for kids. Getting that spatial reasoning is a challenge. And so this encourages kids to compare, manipulate, and transform their geometric pieces to put them together to form shapes. And it's whatever shape is on the screen. And then if they get it right, the screen gives them automatic feedback as to whether they've got it correct, or it provides instant visual and auditory feedback to help them get their errors corrected. So it's a great way to use geometry.
There was a lot of problem solving in that one.
Lot of problem. The kids don't get it, do they?
No, they don't get it right away. The whole reflection thing was a little bit weird, but the clues are good because they'll actually dim or something to help them with what to do. It was pretty challenging even for the older kids.
Yes, yep. And they've upgraded their patterns in here. So that's the new update, is all the different patterns they've provided you. They have a ton of them. And then I'll be showing you soon all the lessons that have been developed around all of these different programs. So the next one I want to show you is Newton. Newton is really good for STEM. It integrates the rules of physics and gravity. So kids use whatever manipulatives they want, place them on the mat or paper in front of them. You don't have to have a mat. I know it shows a mat, but it asks you if you're going to use the mat or not, and you can just say yes or no. Now you can draw lines. You can leave the manipulatives on the screen, and then as the balls come down out of the air, you have to be able to get it to go into a certain location. And so it takes a ton of ability to figure out, how am I going to draw that so the item goes to the right location. This one, they go down and then it has to go back up the tube. So we're trying to get it back up and into the tube all the time. So it's always a great feedback. The kids are very busy with this, playing with it, and they always want to do different paths for the balls to fall. The next one is Masterpiece. Masterpiece is transforms pictures. You take a picture, you can take a picture with your iPad, then it'll transform it into a line drawing. And then here's where the hand-eye coordination is amazing. I do a terrible job of this, but I'm sure others would do great. I had a couple of kids at our makerspace in Ulrichs that were great with this. They did some beautifully artistic work. They took pictures of their friends, which then were converted into line drawings, and then they drew the line drawings of their friend and then colored them in. They did a really nice job of this. Really good with the hand-eye coordination, and this really causes your brain to work harder. And again, it allows for that self-expression. They can use their own choices for their creations, etc. The last one, I don't know if you've used it before, is Monster. It brings your drawings to life as Mo, a furry orange friend, interacts with students' drawings as they all go on an adventure. So it also, English is a second language. It's English as a second language. It cements the understanding of new vocabulary by asking students to draw the requested objects and having them listen as their drawings are discussed. So Mo tells them to draw something. You draw it, and then Mo actually picks up the object off of your mat. It's done. He's going to now grab your object. He's got it. There it is. You drew a wand. He has it now in the sky. Now he's going to do some activities with it. So those are the cool things you can do with Monster. Really an interactive way for him to do it. So he just takes whatever you draw, and then once you hit that, he'll pull it in and talk about it. I just love that one for the kids to play. So those are all the different manipulatives. All of these are apps that you just install on your iPads for your kids. The program itself costs money, and I'll talk about that later on, about how you can get these for your classroom. Lots of great things being said in the community about Osmo, but I'm going to go on down and show you some of the great new features, such as all the wonderful lesson plans have been developed for you to use. Art, handwriting, STEM. So I might go to this one. STEM is a lesson for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and it's engineering solutions using tangrams. So you click on that, and the lesson pops up. Tells you everything. You can be downloaded as a PDF. Can be shared on Facebook or Twitter, but it tells you everything. It's a small group activity, 3 kids per iPad. You notice you don't need an iPad for every student. You absolutely don't want to do that, because you want this to be a collaborative effort. It tells you what materials you need, and the objective for this is for students to discuss properties of Newton and work collaboratively to solve engineering puzzles. It gives you the part 1, what you need to do, part 2, and the students actually do the event. So very, very simple and easy to do. And the lessons are great to use with this. So you're not just giving the kids these tools and then say, go play. You're actually giving them a lesson to do. Let's go to geography. This one is knowing your state capitals. So before the lesson, you have to go to Words on the iPad, create an account, and then enter this link in there, and then download it to iPad, because this is a public album that's been developed on that somebody's already created for you in the Words library for the state capitals. So you don't have to create it. They've already created it for you. I'll just click on that. And this is what somebody has developed. They did all of these maps like this, and this will show up on your iPad then. Once you download it, it'll show up on your iPad. So I can favorite it, and then it would go into my albums. And I've already been making one there, but when I go to my iPad, actually is where it will show. Okay, I can also download other albums while we're here. I can download all the albums that have been made. So if I see anything that I like here, I can download it. And there's tons more here of all the different word albums that have been made for you, so you don't have to create them at all. Tons of them out here. Okay, but again, you might want to create your own. So you go to My Albums. I started one on computer science, but you just hit create the album. You give it a title. Kim, you want to teach one on fractions? Maybe we could do something with pictures on fractions, and then they'd have to come up with something like
that.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to do, and I am going to start adding an image. So then what we'd have to do is show a picture, and then they would have to figure out what the fraction is, or whatever, however you want to do that. And you upload your images. So my first step would be then to go out on the web, look for all the images I want. You need to be careful. They have to be quite big, not small. And so you want to look at the size, bigger than this, And you can always go to your image editors and enlarge them. If you find one you like that's too small, go to your image editor and enlarge them. Get all of those pictures, and you can go to unsplash.com for a great site to get ideas for images. Once you have at least 5 images added, you can make it public, and then you start adding your words to match each of your images, and then it becomes your own puzzle. And that's how easy it is to do that. So that was through, get back to the original spot, sorry. All we were doing was one lesson that we found out here in Osmo, and it gave you the link right to that, and I took you into all of those. So you've got all kinds here, but there's even more. If you scroll down just a little bit further, you can see all the lessons that are available, and you can print out a printable teacher's guide on how to do it, how to create your lessons. So I would highly recommend printing this printable teacher's guide. It's a great tool. Then you go in to see all the lessons. Once you're in there to see all the lessons, you have the option of choosing your grade level. Like I said, it goes from kindergarten through 6th grade. And so you can choose what grade level you want. There's quite a few in each one of the grade levels, at least about 10 to 20 in each one so far. So hopefully you guys will start building more that can be added here and create some for us. So maybe I want to go to 5th grade. And so this is everything that's at the 5th grade level so far. Well, that still seems like quite a lot. So I need to go into the subjects, and I think I want to go to STEM. And now it's down to 6. And so I've got 6 lessons related to STEM. And here's one on Grandfather Tang's story. It's STEM, could be science, technology, engineering, and math. Don't forget your reading as well. So now you can do art and reading and turn it into a STREAM lab instead of a STEM lab. So you just click on that. And here's the complete lesson. The environment, groups of 2 to 3. The objective, you want to read Grandfather Tang's story and then have them make the pictures as you're going along reading the story through that, and then talking about what Grandfather Tang's story really means. So that's one example. So you can look at, maybe you want to, I'm going to clear the filters. Maybe you want to look for just one app. Maybe you only have Word, so you're trying to find anything related to Word. Well, there are 33 lessons created for Word now, but now I need to know what particular grade level. Well, I think I'm going to work with my 2nd graders, so now I'm looking for words for 2nd graders. And now we have all of these. How do you spell tomato? Spell that animal. And so each one of these is a lesson. It gives you, again, the word library that's been created for you. You don't even have to create it. It's been made for you. And then you download it to your iPad, so it makes it very simple to do. And I'll be showing you that in just a minute on the iPad itself. But I wanted to show you that. Notice the standards that it's aligned to, and these are the spelling words that are involved in this particular lesson. And then they also have the difficulty level. That you can use with it. Okay, and you can download the PDF to keep track of what the lesson is about. Again, that's all the different lessons within Osmos.
Do I have to be signed in and have an account to get to those?
In this case, I will sign out, and I think you can still get to it.
I'm just trying to do it.
Let me, you have to have a sign in? Okay, I was going to try it and see if I could do that without. Okay, so I am, nope, it wants you to create an account. Sorry. Good question. So yeah, create an account, it's free. And then when you sign in, it actually sends you an email that you have to access before you can actually get in. So now I have to go to my email, and I have to Oops. Sign in from my email, and now I'm going to be able to get in. And I'm in. And it interacts, it's in the cloud. So I went to my email on my phone. So I've got Osmo on my phone, I've got Osmo on my iPad, and I've got Osmo on my computer. And they're all interacting with one another to be able to do this. And it's showing what my recent activity was here, etc. on this. Okay, let's go back home. Some of the upgrades that they mentioned, you can upgrade your pizza shop company now. Did you know that you can use profits for upgrading your shop and make it even better? I wanted to get there. Okay. So I'm going to show you this little video. My volume's up to 100%. Maybe I won't show this video. It's going to take too long. What time is it? Yeah, it's going to take too long, so I'm not going to show it. I'm going to go on because we've got a few other things that I'd like to show you. Some of the, don't forget all the different things. You have featured albums out there. You have for everything. Here's cells for science, so you can take it even up to the middle school level. All the wonderful things. So I'm going to go back to schools now because I want to show you the resources out there, which are the teacher's guide. When you're ready to do a project and you want pictures to be shared, you can send out a consent letter to be signed, and they even have a take-home letter to tell the parents about Osmo. So they provide you with all those wonderful resources as you're ready to begin. Now I want to take you to how to purchase them, and now I've lost it. It should be under schools. It's not there. Maybe I'll sign out real quick so I can get to it that way. Oh, wait, no, right here. Never mind. So I was 2 tabs, sorry about that. They've got all kinds of solutions for classrooms, and so I wanted to be sure and share those with you. You'll notice that some of them are back ordered. That's because people are loving these and they're ordering more and more all the time. You can get the Genius Kit, which is a great way to start in your classroom. It's only one of our little bases to hook to one iPad, but with that you get 10 grams word and numbers all in one set for $99. What I would recommend is getting something like this system where you would get 4 learning systems, 4 tiles, that way you have 4 sets for your classrooms so that they can work through it. And then you get 2 teacher's guides and some posters, and they're great tubs for storing everything in. And then the last one is the Classroom Kit Plus coding. So in order to get the coding one that I was talking about, you have to go to the higher kit if you want that one. And you get the coding blocks. Okay, and you can also contact them and learn more about purchasing. You can use purchase orders, which is nice. Also, I would highly recommend, if you need funding, go to Donors Choose and actually start a project yourself to talk about how you have the need for these Osmos in your classroom, how much it would cost for your classroom, $595, and then see if there's a donor out there that would donate the money to you so that you can get your Osmo in your classroom without any cost. Okay. The next things I would say is please join their community to learn more all the time. It's a great way to learn more. And then I would also recommend being a part of their newsletter. Sign up for that, and they'll let you know then about all the upcoming new things going on. I'm going to go off of the I'm going to stop sharing the website now, and I'm going to actually show you some of the features on the actual iPad. so that you can see how that works. And now that I've been off for a while, I have to put in my code. Now, if I'm using Osmos, I have my whole folder here. Oh. So what's not recording? I got to see the audio. It's hearing me. Okay. So as we talk here about Osmo, and you download these, once you pay for the bases and everything, and you've got those, you still have to go to each of your computers and download each one of the apps. And then I just put them in an Osmo folder, and they're ready to go for me to use in the classroom. The feature I want to show you is Word. And remember I mentioned, it's not very clear, I don't think, for you. Try to move it a little closer. Okay. Okay, so when you're out here, you can actually go to the library and don't download content. So right here on the iPad, you can look at what's out there that's new. You can go into other languages and you say, okay, I kind of like this one with animals in Spanish. I'm teaching a Spanish speaking class, so I want that one. It now goes up into my library, and I can decide which one I want the kids to use. You're about to delete the, oh no, I don't want to delete that. I cancel. Okay, so now I want to uncheck that one, and I'm going to check the animals one, and then I'm going to go back, and I'm ready to play. And you can play against a friend or against any number of players. And now I'm ready to play. If I had my word pieces in front of me, I would be sliding them forward now, trying to fill in these 3 blocks in order to win the game. And that's how you play Word. I'm going to hit pause. I can go back to one. You can get, or back home. You can go to your albums, and you can change your album that you want. Maybe I want to go to maps for 3rd grade. I go back out here, and now we're going to home and play. And now we're still in our animals. So I got to go back out here, pause, home, go to the library, uncheck. I got to uncheck a few things here. I had a few things checked. Sorry about that. Now I have the maps. I'll go back out and play. And now the maps is up. So you can play that. So you have all kinds of options then to choose. Notice you can turn the speech on. You have hints to help you out if you need help. And it makes it very nice for the kids to use. So that was Word. Now on Monster, we can try Monster here. And we can open Monster. And we want him, whoops, it failed on me. Let's try that again. Monster. Here comes Monster. Hey. Marcia.
We can fill it up. To create something here, you need to draw something down there. Let's give it a try. Draw a balloon. Draw it down there, then tap here when it's ready.
I'm drawing a balloon. I know you can't see that. And I'll put okay. I've drawn my balloon. And now he's going to grab it.
Now to pull it in. Stand back and cross your fingers.
All my balloons are flying up there.
Okay. Every time you play and draw with me, the things you create will show up here. Ready for more? What do you want to do?